It's our 15th season of high school football broadcasting excellence here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, as we have a unique game to bring to you. Game for season number 15 as the Alabama School for the Deaf Silent Warriors take on the defending state champions from the 8-man association here in the state of Alabama, as the Thunder of Jacksonville Christian make their way down to Talladega to start what they hope is another state championship journey. As once again to the FNN High School Football Game of the Week for the 2025 season and our 15th season here on FNN. A happy game day wherever you're watching us from. James Hardy, Shasta Jones down on the sidelines, and of course we have to have, as always, riding shotgun with me, Coach Eddie Bullock with us. First, Coach, a happy game day and always good, at least here tonight in Talladega, for us to get the 2025 season off the starting block.
Hey, great to be here, man. It's football season, football time, and I'm looking forward to it.
And you look at a couple of these teams tonight, very much, well, first off, this is a very much an anticipated Friday night, because while a lot of teams, in some circumstances, take the festivities of the Friday night for granted, really for ASD, most of their games they play on Saturday, so this is a treat for them, not only to be able to play on Friday nights, but to get a rare TV appearance in cameras for tonight.
Right, and it's also a great opportunity for them to, because it's one of the first games of the season, so you always look forward to opening up the season.
Well, you look at ASD as far as their program, coached by Paul Cullick in his 19th season in a couple of different stints here at Talladega, as he's won 78 games over his 19 seasons, as they'll have 4 of their 6, at least 4 of their 8 games at home, and 4 of their first 6 games at home to begin the 2025 season. And they'll go up against a pretty stiff competition, in the Jacksonville Christian Thunder that were the 8-man champions heading in the state of Alabama last year.
Well, and that's always tough when you're going up against a champion. You know, you got to bring your best and be your best when you get out there. So, you know, I think they're at home and they're excited. So I think they're going to try to get up for the challenge.
Look at Jacksonville Christian. They're noted, at least the last couple of years, and this will be the final season in the swan song for Noah Lee, who at this time next year for 2026, he'll be a Jacksonville State Gamecock. So an absolutely outstanding quarterback there for Jacksonville Christian. But I tell you what, also an outstanding group of silent warriors from ASD that we will be seeing as far as tonight's ball game. For ASD, they'll be on the road next week at Arkansas School for the Deaf. And as we mentioned earlier this week, and also at Talladega County High School Football Media Days a couple of weeks ago with Coach Paul Cullick, tonight, really a big night, as we mentioned, certainly playing an outstanding opponent in Jacksonville Christian. But for a school like ASD, not a lot of opportunities as far as being able to showcase their program, but also showcase the school. So another huge, huge night for ASD.
Well, and you want to always, you know, as you mentioned, you know, you playing your first home game, so, you know, you got those pregame, new season jitters, you know, and you want to come out and, you know, you want to put on your best when you get out there.
And we certainly hope to bring you a lot of the best of high school football in our area all throughout the season when it comes to the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. Our countdown to kickoff, as always, for this season, brought to you by our friends just about an extra point away from where we are in the heart of Talladega. It's located just a little bit north on Highway 77 from our broadcast location tonight. Built tough, built fast, backed by Bama Sheds. We'll go ahead and take our first time out, and we'll have more of our countdown to kickoff leading into our season opener, ASD and Christian, here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Looking to transform? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at Bama Sheds. Call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction AIDB has given us.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart with a popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
As we return to the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, our countdown to kickoff, and for Noah Lee, the star quarterback for the Jacksonville Christian Thunder. So his countdown events as far as to his first game of his senior year for the Thunder. James Hardy, along with Coach Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones, Jim Jacobs, and the rest of our FNN crew. As here you see the Jacksonville Christian Thunder getting ready for their first game of the season on the road. At least repeat as state champions, and we're getting close to our opening coin toss, as it appears that Noah Lee will be one of those team captains tonight, along with Preston Straughter, who we saw a few weeks ago at Calhoun County High School Football Media Days. Our presenting sponsor as far as our countdown to kickoff this evening, a big thanks to all of our sponsors tonight and all throughout this 2025 season. And there you see, you can find more from Bama Sheds and pole barns at bamasheds.com. Also, at the Silent Warriors of ASD, they make their way out to midfield, where, by the way, our referee tonight is Thomas Pratt, as we'll be hearing him in just a few moments. As here you take a look at the Silent Warriors captains. Peter Brownlee, who Shasta and I got to see just a couple of days ago, earlier this week, one of those team captains. And then there you also see the pair of Jacksonville Christian captains, including Noah Lee, the outstanding quarterback that'll be making his way to next season. Brian and Jessica Edmiston bring us our toss of the coin for tonight's ball game. So certainly a big thanks as far as the Edmistons bringing us our toss of the coin for Friday evening to get us started in the 2025 season and our 15th season of high school football telecasting excellence. As tonight's coin toss, as we mentioned, brought to you by Jessica and Brian Edmiston, proud supporters of our student athletes in the Alabama Institute and Blind. Here come our captains to midfield, and we'll send it down to Thomas Pratt, our referee, for the toss of the coin.
Need sportsmanship contest from now until we leave this. I'll take care of red, take care of white. Your offense or your defense? Both maybe. So we have a
Well, we don't have referee Thomas Pratt's microphone, but you do see him as far as going over as far as the opening pleasantries leading in to our toss of the coin. Our countdown to kickoff brought to you by Sheds, as it appears that Jacksonville Christian has won the opening coin toss. So also because you are talking about players for ADB, and go ahead and send it down to the field for our national anthem.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of and the home of the
As far at Kiwanis Field, they're going to hear a loud drum when it comes to at least giving the signal for the offense to be able to tell them that, hey, you're ready to go with that first play from scrimmage. As we take a look off to our right as the Silent Warriors of the Alabama School get ready to come out on the Kiwanis Field for the 2025 season, and across the way, the Jacksonville Christian Thunder make their inaugural appearance onto the playing surface for the season. An outstanding program coached by Tommy Miller. As we've mentioned earlier, Bama Shed's countdown to kickoff. Jacksonville Christian coming up a 9-2 season and a state championship season, while here comes the ASD Silent Warriors. And Eddie, just kind of give us what you expect to see as far as maybe your keys for both of these teams tonight.
Well, of course, who make less penalties on this. Interesting for me because the first time I've actually experienced, 8-man football and with the distance of width of the field being shortened down. So it's going to take a little getting used to with me to actually see, if they put tradition how they work it.
And that is a good reminder, Eddie. This is an 8-man game, so pretty much still the same fundamentals as far as what you see from an 11-man contest. But they are going to use a 100-yard field tonight. Typically, an 8-man field, they can use an 80-yard field, but the width of the field in your typical about 53 yards wide for an 11-man field, just 40 yards wide for an 8-man field, as Jacksonville Christian ready to get things started as Noah Lee will kick things off. A 12-minute quarter, first 12 minutes coming up to get our 2025 season underway, as we appreciate you for joining us for our 15th season of the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, as Lee meets toe-to leather and a little pooch kick to the far side, out of bounds, just a little bit shy of the 20-yard line. Now, Eddie, also, I did get to go out onto the field first thing when coming to Kiwanis Field, and I tell you that field was awfully waterlogged, let's say, when I took my first steps out onto the field about a couple of hours ago.
Well, Mike, 9, it looks like, the grass is pretty thick. It's got deep footprints in it, so I'm assuming that the grass is pretty high.
Carter's Hardware brings us our first downs tonight. And also a big thanks to Adam Bowden Construction, who brings you quarter coverage, as we'll have for the Alabama School for the Deaf senior quarterback, 6'2", 175 pounds, Peter Brownlee. That'll get the call, and they'll run out of a double wing set. So Jacksonville Christian, they'll put a couple down linemen up front. Brownlee lone setback. The receiver comes in motion, and the give off to the far side. However, good swarming defense that time by Christians. You had 4 different Thunder defenders that time, gang on A.G. LaKendrick that time on the tackle for loss.
Yeah, LaKendrick, he never got an opportunity for that to start. Jacksonville Christian had deep penetration, so that play was kind of stopped before it started.
Kanan Dowdy, a 7th grader among those on the tackle. You also see Leland Potts, the senior, along the defensive line at nose guard.
ASD brings them to the line.
So that play lost about a couple. Second and winds and throws down the field a jump ball, as it is intercepted by the Thunder. Bryson Dowdy on the interception as he returns it across the 40 of the Silent Warriors to the ASD 37-yard line. So Jacksonville Christian in business.
Well, he had great coverage on that. Ball was a little bit underthrown, and the defensive back actually had a better opportunity at it. That's when the receiver have to switch to defense on those plays.
So now it's going to be Noah Lee coming out at quarterback. Our first time to see him on our FNN cameras. A storied career up in. He's going to keep his football talents in Jacksonville next year. So obviously a lot as far as just trying to enjoy his senior year of high school football. And there you see Lee come up to the line of scrimmage. Jack Henry Harris, the deep back in the eye. Give goes to Harris. Good running room as he'll move it to at least off left guard that time, as he'll advance close to that first down stick. A gain of about 9 yards. So good productive play for the Thunder going off the left side and getting a positive gain, almost a first down.
Right, they got a little lead. Kind of picked his way through, did a great job.
Now for the Jacksonville Christian Thunder defense, they'll get an indication as far as some flashing lights on the Jacksonville Christian Thunder's helmet as far as when the play is about to go off from scrimmage. It's underway here in the opening quarter of the FNN High School Football Game of the Week for the 2025 season. Lone setback is Anthony Gooch, as he'll get the call up the middle, loses the football, and let's see, I think the Silent Warriors had a pretty good chance to fall on it, but eventually comes out with it. As we'll take another look as far as that big first down run for Gooch, as he also lost the football.
I think the defensive back was too busy playing defense, and he forgot that the ball was on the ground. Had an opportunity to recover fumble those.
Game of the 2025 Anthony Gooch, the transfer from Hoax Bluff, has a very interesting story as far as how he arrived. Loses the football, and let's see, I think the Silent Warriors had a telecast, but somehow the Thunder able to recover, and they'll have a first down and 10 in the red zone just outside the 10. Here's a play fake, and the throw a bit off the mark, incomplete, intended for Bryson Dowdy, the junior wide receiver. Also, by the way, Dawson Wilkerson and Brody Wilkerson not available tonight for Jacksonville Christian.
He had an opportunity right there. He threw the football receiver. If he'd have hit him, he probably would have walked in the end zone on that one.
Second down and 10. Isn't it officially a 10 yards to go? Because Jacksonville Christian can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. We've played 2.5 minutes of the opening quarter. Once again, the eye look, as it'll be the keeper off the left side for Lee, as he'll turn the corner and get some solid yardage as he's run out of bounds that time. A.G. LeKendrick leads the way on the tackle for the Silent Warriors of ASD. We'll take another look, and a good run this time. Good decision by Lee, keeping the ball and getting about 8 yards.
It's just a quarterback sweep right there. A little token fake up the middle, and he just kept it. That was a keeper all the way.
Of course, Tommy Miller, also a veteran coach on the far sideline. Outstanding job over many, many decades with the Thunder football program. Third down and a short 2. Line to reach inside the 2 as Harris gets the call as he's ganged up, and he'll go down. And first down, Eddie. So it's going to be fourth down and short. And it's going to be a big, big play for both of these teams early on with a fourth down and about a long yard to go.
Well, it's decision time right there, because if they hold them, it's turnover on downs. But they got maybe to get a first down. So
some of those building blocks of the season, our first quarter sponsor, Adam Bowden Construction, they certainly know about laying those building blocks as far as their construction work. And for one of these two teams would be a good start early on as far as gaining some early confidence. Fourth down and short.
Let's see if we see the tush push.
But before that, we will see a flag fly from the defensive backfield. Thomas Pratt comes over to tell us.
Delay game, ball, delay game. On the receiving team, 5-yard penalty.
So it'd be fourth down and a little bit longer. There's too much time taken by the Thunder offense.
And that plays right in the ASD hands right there because they've been getting pretty good penetration. So, JCL pretty much have to throw for the end zone right here.
But they certainly quarterback that has the ability to get that touchdown in one play, especially from inside the 10-yard line. So there is no play clock as far as Kiwanis Field, the play clock being kept down on the field. Fourth down, line to reach just first down. Lee back to throw. Under pressure as he's flushed out to the far side, has some running room, now stops and throws across his body, and that's intercepted. So the Silent Warriors come up big. They bend, but they do not break, thanks to the interception from Demarion Hagler.
He broke the cardinal sin right there, rolling to your left, right-handed quarterback and throwing across your body. Those are the kind you want to throw away.
And Eddie, on the flip side, that has to be a huge confidence builder for the Silent Warriors D.
Absolutely, absolutely. As you mentioned earlier, they bent, but they didn't break.
They'll take over the football, albeit deep in their own end of the field, around their own 10-yard line.
And also, you're talking about 8-man state champions, so, that's a big confidence booster right there.
And the rest of the Silent Warriors offense for ASD come out of the huddle. They'll spot the football around the 6-yard line. So there you take a look from our deep from the home sideline. And we'll have a whistle. What you would think a delay of game. Once again thrown in the defensive backfield. We'll hear again from Thomas Pratt.
Dead ball. On the offense, half the distance to go, still first down.
So certainly something, Eddie, that is not penalties early on, just kind of getting the kinks out of the system coming out of the starting blocks for the season.
Well, that typically happens, the first game of the season,
Here's Brownlee, a high snap as he reverses field, gets out of a tackle and has a lot of real estate. Has the first down. As Brownlee still fighting hard, might have lost the football, and looks like there's a scramble for it. Let's see who was able to come out of that pile, but I think
you're killing it.
It was ASD that was able to come out with it. As you'll take a look, some good effort, and there's a look at the loose.
Absolutely, he had to fight for it.
But an outstanding run by Brownlee on that first down run. So the Silent Warriors able to keep possession of the football.
James Hill avoided that play was designed as a quarterback's lead round the right side, but he reversed field and athletes make plays.
It's like LeKendrick in the backfield as he'll give off to Chris Weaver, and he's not going to have a lot of yardage. In fact, he's going to lose a couple. As you take a look at that front line, Jacksonville Christian as Preston Strawder helps lead the way on the tackle for loss.
Well, he got a high snap right there, and it kind of threw the timing of the play off.
By the way, our first downs tonight brought to you by Carter's Hardware, serving the Munford community since over a century's worth of excellence in our part of the state. We'll have a whistle and looks as if a timeout. Our first timeout called for by the Silent Warriors of ASD, and we'll take the timeout with them. 6:57 to go, opening quarter, still no score. Our first of many F&N high school football games of the week to come to you.
You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available. And we're so thankful for the direction AIDB has given us.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store, from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you.
Second down play for ASD as Edson Rojas takes a little pop pass across the original line of scrimmage as he advances the football to the 32-yard line. Be a third down and long situation, about almost 8 yards to go. They need the 40, do the Silent Warriors, to keep this drive alive. From the heart of Talladega, James Hardy, Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones, and our FNN crew with you as LeKendrick in motion. As sweeping around the far side, Brownlee has some blocking and a big first down run that time, courtesy of Carter's Hardware. And that was some excellent blocking on the right side, Eddie.
Absolutely. The quarterback gave a pop pass right there, and he got out in front of his jet sweep. Did an excellent block.
Silent Warriors on the move now as they started from around their own 6-yard line as they've now moved the football close to midfield. Almost halfway through the opening quarter. As ASD was able to get an interception of Noah Lee to Thunder scoring drive. So right now the clock momentarily stopped with just over 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter as LeKendrick will fake the give as Brownlee keeps off the left side as he has a lot of running room. He has another ASD first to Jacksonville Christian territory for the first time. And Eddie, this is an impressive drive that the Silent Warriors are on, starting from their own 6.
Absolutely, and if we see that replay on that one, he kind of gave the linebacker a dead leg on it, and that froze the running back right here. You see him get around the corner, but that was a beautiful run right there.
Outstanding run that time from the senior quarterback, Brownlee. This looks like we'll have a heat timeout. We'll take the timeout with them. 5:53 to go in the opening quarter. Still no score here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week.
Shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. And set up within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Rojas goes around the right side as he's able to get minimal yardage as an impressive ASD Silent Warriors drive that started an interception to prevent a Jacksonville Christian scoring drive. The Silent Warriors began their drive from their own 6-yard line, and now what looks like a second down situation coming up following the heat timeout as we're still in the first quarter, a little below 6 minutes to go. Also looks like referee Thomas Pratt indicated to us a penalty on the Silent Warriors for a hold, so that's going to move it on back to the Thunder 40-yard line.
Cold.
And so a long yardage situation coming up on first down and 20 for ASD. Brownlee flags down the high snap as he recovers, tries to reverse field, as sees little running room and breaks free as he gets back to the original. And I tell you what, also give credit to Noah Lee for an outstanding tackle that prevented a touchdown, Eddie.
Absolutely. If he don't make that tackle right there, he walks in the end zone. He did a great job after a bad snap, reversing field. And again, you know, that athleticism, he took something and took nothing and made something.
That's the second time we've seen Brownlee have to reverse course off an errant snap, but able to make a lot out of nothing so far. As they've gotten to the 30-yard line of Jacksonville Christian, still a couple of downs to go as far as maybe moving the sticks. If LeKendrick Agee, I beg your pardon, taking the snaps right now as we'll have a whistle and a timeout called for on the field. Let's see who gets the timeout, and it'll be for ASD, and we'll take the timeout with them. Just under 5 minutes left opening quarter. Still no score with the Silent Warriors on the move.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Under 5 minutes to go, opening quarter, as Brownlee goes down. Intercepted by the Jacksonville Christian Thunder as they're able to stop a lengthy drive from the Silent Warriors as Bryson Dowdy comes away with the pick.
Well, same mistake right there. He's rolling to his right and threw back across his body, and he underthrew. He had a man open, but he just momentum on it, rolling to his right.
Adam Bowden Construction LLC brings us our opening quarter here in our first game of
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go.
our first game of the season, the F&N High School football game of the week. Christian, after that Dowdy pick, comes back out on offense for the second time this season. Here we take a look at Adam Bowden Construction. 200-plus tile showers installed as far as what they provide to you. Lee, quick throw over the middle, and that's complete on the RPO. Nice throw by Lee, his first completion of the night, as that'll get close to the first down with Dowdy on the reception. So looked as if that a couple of Silent Warriors able to combine on the tackle, but that is 10 for the first down. Carter's Hardware first down as the Thunder look to try and punch it in the end zone to get their first score of the 2025 season. First down as Lee back to throw. He'll toss to the near side, an out route completed catch. A little juggle that time from the wide receiver, Skylar Kreider, the senior, but able to reel it in. And another, at least modest gain this time of about 4 yards. So the football advances into ASD territory now at the Silent Warriors 48-yard line. So both teams have had good drives early on, interceptions. And this time the Thunder of Jacksonville Christian trying to punch it in the end zone. And we'll have whistle to stop the play. And I think we may have already had a couple of timeouts called for, and now one by as we'll take the timeout with them again with 3:13 to go in the opening quarter. Still no score from Talladega here on the F&N High School football game of the week.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction AIDB has given us.
Jacksonville Christian has the football in our opening game of the week. Jacksonville Christian trying to punch it in the end zone as Lee under pressure rolls out, and now he wants to go downfield into coverage, and that is incomplete. Good defense that time in the back end of the secondary. As you take a look at AG, that helps out on the coverage to force the, and it's going to be a third down upcoming.
Well, they showed pressure, and they brought pressure, and they got to him. He had reverse field to get out of a sack, and ASD had great downfield coverage.
As always, a big thanks to our season-long partner, F&M Bank, along with F&N Service Solutions. Not just a tagline, also strength, but there's a reason that they've been in business in our part of Alabama for such a long time with that service solutions and strength from F&M Bank. Third down, line to attain for the first down, just inside the 43. Low snap, under pressure, and the throw across the way. That is complete to Dowdy for the first down. Good presence that time and poised by Noah Lee. The snap a little bit errant, but able to pick it up and get the first down.
Absolutely, and he probably should have been sacked right there, and he was able to step up in the pocket.
First down reception. And by the way, let's get a little bit of house cleaning correct on our end. Our first downs also brought to you by the Chambers of Commerce from Lincoln, Munford, and Talladega. Also, Carter's Hardware presenting our kickoffs this evening. And we'll, I imagine, still have a lot of those coming up later on this evening as the play action for Lee. Under pressure, being flushed, and now reverses field, has some running room, and now he'll throw, and good catch that time on a sliding reception for Jack Henry Harris, and that is down.
Right here, James, he probably should have been sacked if he take a top shoulder angle right there, but he went down underneath and wasn't able to recover.
I'll tell you what, some good improvisation ability that time from Noah Lee, the senior, as he was able to extend that play and allow Harris for the first down. We're coming up on the final 2 minutes of the opening quarter here at Kiwanis Field on the campus of ASD in Talladega. A shotgun setup as Anthony Gooch, the lone setback. Lee wants the quick toss, and that's high. And I wonder with how wet that field is, Eddie, because that's the second time we've seen a missed throw for Noah Lee tonight, how slippery that ball is as far as for both quarterbacks to handle.
Absolutely. And then, you know, this time of the evening is dew start settling in addition to the rain. So I can only imagine how slippery that ball is right now.
Jacksonville Christian state champs in the 8-man association, or great state of Alabama last year. So Coach Tommy Miller mentioned Calhoun County Media Days a couple of weeks ago, Eddie. They feel like they are the hunted for this 2025 season.
Hey, absolutely. When you win the big, when you have a target on your chest.
Exactly how he termed it, having that target on their back. Second down. Lee, a quarterback draw, as he has a little bit of running room. Good closing speed that time, but just missing the tackle was Edson Rojas, as Noah Lee able to get a solid gain on second down. I'll tell you, Rojas for a moment was going to be able to make that tackle and stop Lee for about 3 or 4 yards, but give credit for Lee as far as being able to escape that open field tackle.
Well, it's all about angles, you know, taking the right angles. I've seen on a couple of occasions where they've taken the wrong angle.
So it'll be a gain of third down and short upcoming as the clock stopped with Lee going out of bounds. The play clock being kept on the field for tonight. So the Thunder out of the huddle, third down and short. Harris in motion. Quick throw, and that's dropped, incomplete. Intended for Harris, as there was coverage provided by the Silent Warriors athlete, LaKendrick Agee. So Agee right there, the senior. And so it'll be a fourth down and short coming up.
James, don't be surprised if they come back, because I saw secondary when the quarterback raised up and opened his shoulders up, the safety bit down on that throw. So don't be surprised if you see a pump fake and then a post route.
I got that in the memory bank, Eddie, for when that comes up later tonight. Fourth down and short. Here's the quick He gets more than enough room for the first down. Ball came out, but the ground caused it, so no worries on that Chamber of Commerce first down from the communities of Talladega, Lincoln, as well as Munford. So the drive stays alive for the Jacksonville Christian Thunder. 90 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
And they can't get a first down this time, James. They got to punch it in 4 downs.
That's right. When you talk about a lot of 8-man football teams across the state of Alabama, Eddie, you don't have the luxury of a place kicker, so it's either boom or bust when it comes to those touchdowns.
Absolutely.
Football, they'll spot it just inside the 10-yard line at the 9. So a goal to go. Gooch on the call up the middle. As he'll get some tough yards, actually some pretty decent yards as AG helps make the tackle. You also take a look out there at Jordan Jones, another individual, another senior actually that Shasta and myself got to visit earlier this week right here on campus. Had a great visit. I tell you what, outstanding hospitality from the folks at ASD that we got earlier this week. Very happy from the football program, really to the entire school to have cameras right here tonight. I formation as the give to Gooch as he goes in for the first score of the season. Touchdown Thunder. So that's a run of, we'll call it 4 yards for Anthony Gooch, the Hoax Bluff, as he gets Jacksonville Christian on the board for the first time this year.
Just a dive off the left side.
So 6-0 in favor of the Thunder. So Gooch, the first touchdown run of the season. Noah Lee with a couple of big plays that helped live, and then really the rest of the way after that 4th down run by Gooch, it was kept exclusively on the ground. 2-point conversion time.
2-point conversion.
Harris in motion. Gooch left tackle, and he'll go right in for the 2-point conversion. So Jacksonville Christian able to catch over as they take the first lead of the ball game late in the opening quarter here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. Show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Carter's Hardware kickoff for Jacksonville Christian goes out of bounds as Anthony Gooch's 4-yard touchdown run able to get the Thunder on the board first, along with his 2-point conversion to make it 8-0. And we'll throw it down to the sidelines and hear about one of the Silent Warriors stars for our first time to hear from Shasta this season.
I caught up with the ASD quarterback, Peter Joseph Brownlee, this week. He doesn't just play football. He plays basketball, and he just plays football for fun, but he still takes it serious. Basketball is his passion, and he does plan to go to football. I asked him what he's worked on this summer to up his game. He took a month off during the summer workout, focus on himself. He gets mentally prepared for this year, and because this is going to be his last year and he's a senior. But the one thing he wants everybody to know, too, is that when he would like for the younger players to take away from him as he's leaving, to realize that just because they make a mistake doesn't mean you give up. You keep going. You always have a positive attitude no matter what happens. If something goes wrong.
Speaking of going, here goes AG to the house for the touchdown.
Absolutely. You could see it, and he has that Right there, great run right there.
LaKendrick Agee finds daylight as he gets around that last potential Thunder tackler in TJ Scott and goes the distance for a 75-yard touchdown. But I don't see a flag, but it looks as if they're walking this back, as there must have been a penalty on the Silent Warriors. An unfortunate miscue that time, as we'll hear from Thomas Pratt, a referee.
Hold it.
Oh, just too bad that time for the Silent Warriors, as they had a long touchdown run from LaKendrick Agee called back. And they'll have instead a first down and long upcoming, as I believe they haven't officially indicated, and they may have one untimed down, I think, to come, or will they just go to the second quarter? I think that last play ended the first quarter as far as our timed portion of the first quarter, and I think we'll have one more play to go here to officially close out the opening quarter. Adam Bowden Construction LLC at 256-283-88. And now Thomas Pratt will stop play, as well as our six-man officiating crew, as we'll see what Thomas.
Play a game. Offense. First down.
So the Silent Warriors took a little too much time that time. Back another 5 yards, so that's a lot of penalty yards. And you throw in a touchdown run that it negated, especially on the holding penalty, and could be a lot different situation right now. As here's the final snap of the quarter, as Agee spun around and gets out of a couple of tackles, up and taken down by Anthony Gooch. So I believe that should end our opening quarter of play, but an interesting first quarter as both teams' defenses shined early on, but Jacksonville Christian on the board as they take an 8-0 lead after one quarter of play here on the FNN High School Football game.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Second quarter underway as LaKendrick Agee gets the call off the left side as he sweeps around the 30 to about the 35-yard line. James Hardy along with Shasta Jones on the sidelines, and of course Coach Eddie Bullock with us here on the High School Football Game of the Week. The Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind Foundation brings us our second quarter. As here you see, as far as our AIDB Foundation sponsor for this second quarter. Happy to be here as Jacksonville Christian with early lead through one quarter of play. A little bit of change now into the second quarter as you take a look at Agee, who's taken almost all the snaps over the last couple of possessions now. Agee almost immediately met by a Thunder defender as he's able to escape two being taken out of bounds as he was able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, it looks like. And so Jacksonville Christian, the only score so far tonight, thanks to a 4-yard touchdown run from Oaks Bluff transfer Anthony Gooch. A big thanks to all of you again for joining us to help make the FNN Game of the Week possible here in 2025. And a big thanks to all of you for watching us for our 15th season of high school football coverage in our part of the Yellowhammer State. So Jacksonville Christian touchdown drive in their most recent drive, and then for the Silent Warriors of ASD, they were able to go from their own 6 on their second drive and go to the Thunder 30 before an interception stopped that drive. Here's AG as he'll quickly kick it away. As the catch made at the 38-yard line by Dowdy as he's wrapped up and taken down on good special teams work that time by Chris Weaver. Weaver, 5'9", 180 pounds, a senior, another one of the primary leaders for ASD this season. And then we talked about in our Bama Sheds countdown to kickoff, Eddie, at the very top of the telecast as far as how big a night this was for ASD. And when talking with head coach Paul Kullick here at ASD earlier this week, he mentioned as far as just how important tonight was as far as getting for the Institute here in Talladega. But also he wanted this night to be able to showcase just the positives as far as 8-man football, and hopefully for him and really for the rest of the state, plant those seeds that maybe the AHSAA can maybe think about in the future. Schools with an opportunity to play 8-man football.
Absolutely. ASD had to make some adjustments there. They only had 6 players on the field at that time, and coach had to rush 2 on the field.
Noah Lee able to get maybe one of his best throws of the night complete on an out route to Skylar Kreider, his second catch. So ball close to midfield. As Jacksonville Christian, they want to take a 2-score lead. A little over 90 seconds played here in the second quarter. Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind Foundation brings you our second quarter. So line to reach for the first down, about the 47 of the Silent Warriors, so we'll call it a second and about 4. There's the give to Gooch as he has a lot of running room and barrels through a couple of tackles before a Thunder first down, and the tackle made by Contavious Tinneyhill. Tinneyhill, a senior, halfback and linebacker. As here you see the Chamber of Commerce from Talladega, Lincoln, and Munford sponsoring our first downs this evening. So football advanced by Gooch to the 37-yard line, and Gooch, a star basketball player last year at Oaks Bluff. His dad, a minister, a man of the cloth, took a pastoral call in Jacksonville, so that's the reason that Gooch is now a Jacksonville Christian Thunder. Back to throw, Lee under pressure, wrapped up and still on his feet as he escapes the initial tackle and throws, and that is complete. Nice job again of avoiding some trouble and finding Harris, his safety valve receiver.
Did a great job, man, and he had too, man. He rolled out and you know, that's a situation where you don't make a slinging tackle. You got to take them and wrap them up.
And you look at Noah Lee as far as just his ability that we've seen tonight. And Coach Tommy Miller mentioned just a couple of weeks ago over at the Anderson Country Club, a lot of schools have been trying to recruit him, but Noah Lee, he wanted to stay a Thunder. And the Thunder certainly rewarded as far as his quarterbacking services. A state championship last year, and they certainly want to get another state championship before he calls it a career with JCA. I formation. As good pursuit that time by the Thunder front line. As you'll take a look at Jordan Jones, the defensive end, the 6'1", 265-pound senior on the stop.
He didn't look like 260. He looked like he was a 185 guy. The way he was.
Well, certainly showed some moves that time right along the defensive front. So that puts the Thunder offense in a bind now, as they're going to have, well, they're going to have a third down manageable situation. Actually, maybe not as much of a bind as I thought. But a big defensive play nonetheless for the Warriors. As now Lee throws out route, and good hands that time on the completion by Kreider. As a little bit of a high throw, but Kreider able to concentrate, reel that in for the first down. So the drive continues. Jacksonville Christian Thunder, as we played almost the first 4 minutes of the second quarter. So the play just coming in from across the way at the Jacksonville Christian sideline. As the Thunder at the huddle. Lee's starting to get some rhythm now with that throwing arm. As we'll have a stoppage in play. And looks like a timeout on the field. We'll find out who calls the timeout, or is there a flag on the play? So there is a flag on the
encroachment
from
on
Thomas
defense.
Pratt.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. Yards, so first down.
Thanks to Thomas Pratt, we get the official indication of that offside, so helps out. Still make it now a first down and 5. Our season opener, and also for the Thunder and Silent Warriors, their season opener. Jacksonville Christian back at home next week. They'll take on Pineville Christian, but right now they're number 1 on the board. Still plenty of football to go. Low snap as Lee digs it out. Lofts it toward the end zone. A jump ball as it's overthrown. Incomplete, intended for Dowdy.
And they playing tight man-to-man coverage down there, too. That's impressive. When they get ready to send those linebackers, they playing bump and run coverage.
Griffin Daffron on the coverage. And keep in mind also for this ASD squad, Eddie, they only had about a week of, as far as their preseason camp, really to get themselves acclimated before they got to tonight.
Well, they look pretty good. They only have 1 week. They look good.
So they've shown at least a lot of athleticism so far on the field.
Yeah, absolutely, but they hadn't made a whole lot of mistakes for only 1 week of practice.
Here's a second down and 5 as Gooch wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit again. The ASD defense as Chris Weaver comes up on the tackle. No gain that time, as it'll set up a third down and 5. I think that's the second time on this drive, Eddie, we've seen Chris Weaver come up with a pretty good solo tackle.
Absolutely. He shot through that like they shot him out of missile that time.
There you see the football, a great view from our sideline camera angle at the 21-yard line. Now, we did have at least a bit of a rainstorm about 2 to 4 o'clock prior to tonight's ball game, so a rain-cooled atmosphere for our first game of the season. Third down. Here's the throwback screen complete, but well read and even better maneuvering for Jacksonville Christian's Dowdy, as I thought he was going to lose a couple of yards, and Dowdy came close to the first down.
Absolutely. I think the defender should have broken down to make that open. He had all his momentum going forward, and he couldn't change directions.
And even after a rain-cooled evening, these two teams with their aggressive play, they're going to want a lot of that 99-cent bag of ice from the Grub Mart following tonight's ball game. Once again, the Grub Mart, our longtime friends here with that. Fourth down and short, quarterback sneak for Lee, as it appears that he was able to get his Jacksonville Christian first down. Our friends from the Chamber of Commerce of Talladega, Lincoln, and Munford give us that camera shot here. Great look right along the line of scrimmage at that first down sneak by Noah Lee.
It's a JCA tush push.
Indeed, the Noah Lee tush push. I imagine that maybe the Gamecocks will get familiar with here pretty soon. Second quarter, A first down inside the 15. Lee swings it out to Gooch, complete as he'll lumber his way toward pay dirt. And is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Thunder. A swing Noah Lee to Anthony Gooch, as Gooch able to just cruise down the sideline, lower the shoulder, Eddie, and get the second touchdown, his second touchdown of the night.
Well, when he came out, if you notice right there, there was nobody on him. That was the inside linebacker right there, and he had the angle on him. So, you know, if you want to stop that play, you got to pick him up as soon as he come out the backfield.
Well, speaking of stopping play, looks like we've got a stoppage on the field. And we'll go ahead, a heat timeout. We'll take it with them here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him. Thankful for the direction AIDB has given us.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Anthony Gooch with his second touchdown of the night. One on the ground and this one through the air as he helps his team to a 14-0 out of the heat timeout. A 2-point conversion try now on the way. As here's the play action as Lee trying to roll it out and does so and gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion to make it 16-0 in favor of Jacksonville Christian. We'll go ahead and step aside. 5:47 left in the opening half. This is Jacksonville Christian 16 and the ASD Silent Warriors nothing.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. We offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability, dreams become reality.
From the Alabama School for the Deaf, James Hardy with you, along with Eddie Bullock, and along with our FNN crew as we roll out our 2025 schedule here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. We see what's possible. The Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind is the world's most comprehensive program for individuals who are deaf, blind, and multi centers across the state. AIDB empowers over 32,000 Alabamians to live without limits. To learn more, visit AIDB.org. As we see LaKendrick Agee bring that Silent Warriors kickoff and give ASD some solid starting field position, a couple of scores, and they'll have the football around their own 45-yard line, first down and 10. And it's important now, Eddie, for the Silent Warriors to see if they can come up with an answer and get on the board on this drive.
Absolutely. You know, they scored early with a big play, 65-yard run, and it would have been a but right now, you know, they kind of got their backs against the wall. So if they can get a touchdown right here, you got a brand-new ball game.
Well, I tell you what, when we talked with Coach Cullick earlier this week, I asked him, it's like, what did he want to get out of this week? And there's one simple answer, Eddie, you'll love. This game tonight.
Absolutely.
Right now, Jacksonville Christian with the upper hand, but some good starting field position from around their own 44 for the Silent Warriors. And we'll have a stoppage in play as a delay of game goes on ASD.
Play game.
So we saw Brownlee early on at quarterback, but it's mostly been for ASD, LaKendrick Agee, that has gotten the snaps this evening. When talking with Coach Kullick, he really is enthusiastic about his team's chances this 3-3 last year, but a big spotlight game for the program and for the institution in general tonight. A big Friday night affair as Agee with some running room as he gets into the open field. He could take it the distance as he's still on his feet. Go to the house. Touchdown, Silent Warriors.
He can fly, James. He got blazing speed right there. I mean, he needed one block, and you're going to see.
He had one touchdown run called back. Not this time, though, Eddie. The Warriors on the board as they make it a 16-6 Jacksonville Christian lead with the 2-point conversion upcoming. A 62-yard touchdown run by LaKendrick Agee, the senior.
Well, it's the second one. You know, the first one got called back. It was 65 yards. So
when we heard from Tommy Miller at Calhoun County High School Football Media Days, he mentioned as far as just the potential for a lot of scoring. So far, we haven't really seen that tonight, but still a lot more game to go as Agee on the 2-point conversion wants to turn the corner, but wrapped up and fights for the end zone. And he got in. Somehow gets in for the 2-point conversion to make it a one-score game. Let's catch our breath after that 2-point conversion run, and we'll have the final 5:25 of the second quarter here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
An outstanding job of individual effort on both the 62-yard touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Agee, as he's going to set up a Carter's Hardware kickoff for ASD. As they're now down by just one possession, we've got an entertaining ball game on our hands here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week. AIDB Foundation, our second quarter coverage.
Understand, James, he ran by the quarterback on that play too, so that's a big deal.
Here's an onside kick, and the dribbler is fielded by Jacksonville Christian as coming up with the recovery is the Thunder as they'll have the football. First down and 10. For Jacksonville Christian, both of their touchdowns, one on the ground and one receiving-wise from Anthony Gooch, 4 yards on the touchdown run in the first quarter. Then 12-yard reception on a swing pass from Noah Lee to get his second score of the night. So about 5:25 or so left until halftime. Good ball game tonight, and thankfully not an oppressively humid evening as well, thanks to the afternoon rain we got. Lee, a swing pass, dumps it out complete to Gooch as he has a lot of, as he's just tripped up at the ASD 35-yard line, but similar to that touchdown pass, a lot of running room to operate for Anthony Gooch.
When the inside linebacker's blitzing through the A gap and he doesn't have nobody's covering that back coming out the backfield, if the inside linebacker goes in, the defensive tackle or end has to peel.
So a big first down. A first down reception is Gooch. Maybe the brightest player we've seen tonight on offense for Jacksonville Christian. Noah Lee, certainly the celebrated player. His future at quarterback. As you'll take a look at Lee now, go under center. Harris dots the I. Harris with the call as he'll sidestep a defender. Gets wrapped up and taken or stopped as far as his forward progress is concerned. Good pursuit by multiple. Silent Warriors, including Edson Rojas on the tackle. So second down upcoming. We'll have our review as far as the first half at halftime, as well as a look as far as of what ASD has to offer. Also a big thanks to our longtime friends from the Calhoun County Commission for sponsoring us as far as the F&N High School Football Game of the Week. Lee all day to throw as he gets the completion to the far side. As he'll get across the first down marker, about a 12-yard gain or so. As the Thunder quickly on the move now in Silent Warriors territory, about the 20-yard line.
And that's just a timing route. They're running that 5-yard out, pushing it to 7 yards. They've ran it about 4 times. So
you look at the Silent Warriors roster, 18 on the roster this year, a couple not suiting up due to basically arriving on the team within the last 48 hours. They'll have opportunities to play the rest of the season. As Lee waits under pressure, now scrambles and goes upfield as he goes out of bounds right in front of Alonzo Kirby, one of our cameramen, about the 14-yard line. Well, Alonso not in any sort of trouble, however, as far as having cameras knocked down by Noah Lee, however.
Well, you know, Alonzo got a few moves himself. He got out the way last year a couple of times. So
you know, coaching and playing as much as anything, you got to have your head on a swivel down on that sideline, man.
Absolutely.
A good about time on the part of Noah Lee on his scramble. Back to the eye goes the Thunder. Play fake and a quick toss, and the pressure forces the incompletion that time as Dowdy, the intended receiver. Now, Eddie, we got to know, especially your coaching days in football, how many times did you get the receiving end of a tackle on the sideline?
Oh, I got my share. Hey, I started learning. I would anticipate 15 to 20 yards away. If I saw it coming, I would start moving in.
We've got to find some video of that days, man.
Oh, I had to hop over a couple of tackles.
I bet you did. You usually probably have to do that at least once or twice a year, I imagine, if not more. Third down, as Lee quick pop over the middle, complete for the touchdown to Harris as Noah Lee gets his second touchdown pass of the quarter. Kind of an old school play that time, little fake to the fullback and then just pop it to the tight end, or in this case Harris for the touchdown.
Absolutely, just a seam route right here. You see him fake it, he'll fake it right there and then raise up and hit the tight end going right up the middle.
So there's the touchdown of 14 yards, the second red zone touchdown pass this evening.
It's a great play call right there. I think Coach Miller has the defense off balance right now. You know, he's kind of mixing it up with the outs and the dives, and he got the defense off balance right now.
2-point conversion try. Gooch, the lone setback. Roll out for Lee as he wants to keep it himself, and no worries as he's into the end zone for another 2-point conversion. A 16-point advantage as the Thunder back on top by a couple of scores. 3:22 left until halftime here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
From the heart of Talladega, another Jacksonville Christian, as that'll get fielded at the far side by the Silent Warriors. Little pooch kick by Noah Lee, as he'll be taken for about a 3 or 4 yard return and set up a first down and 10 as the return by Demarion Hagler for ASD, who also came up earlier tonight for the Silent Warriors defense. And tell you what, we kind of joked around prior to coming back from the break, Eddie, but when you're used to, and we'll see next week as far as our game of the week when it comes to those PAT kicks, but at least for the 8-man teams in our state, they're going for 2 after every touchdown.
Looked at that score and I said, oh man, that's wrong. It should be 21, but I forgot it's 3 2-point conversions.
So here comes the Silent Warriors as Kendrick Agee on the score on the last possession, as here comes the give and a little counter give to Chris Weaver as he's able to side and get some modest yardage. Coming up on the final 3 minutes of this opening half, as decent field position for ASD as they have the football at the 41-yard line. You do have, as far as the deaf and blind portion of the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind presented on this ASD roster this season.
Hey, we talk old school football. That play right there was old school crossbuck.
I'll tell you what, ASD playing, even though they're down a couple scores, they've been playing pretty impressively so far this evening. Delay give, good pursuit on Agee. Take a look at Gooch, as well as big number 99 Parker Wade, the junior defensive lineman, to help out on the tackle.
Let's see if they go to big play AG right here. They ran a crossbuck to the left, crossbuck back to the right, so if I'm a betting man, I believe it's going to get this ball this time.
Approaching the final 2 minutes of the first half. Couple touchdown passes for Noah Lee, as well as a couple of touchdowns in total for Anthony Gooch and Kendrick Agee, an impressive 62-yard touchdown run here in the second. All of the touchdowns have been capped off successfully by 2-point conversions. Long yardage situation to go. Nowhere to go, and look at that jersey almost pop on Agee, as you had another one of the outstanding defenders for the Thunder that time. It looked as if Leland Potts that time came up and made the tackle. I'll tell you what, that was an impressive tackle to just hold on for life, as it turned out. Probably about 40 years ago, that jersey would have torn off from Kendrick Agee.
Absolutely. I think on that particular series, in my opinion, a little bit too conservative. I would have spread it out and maybe gave him a little bit more space with a quarterback draw or something of that nature, because they ran the crossbuck twice and then they faked the crossbuck with the quarterback keeper.
Less than 1 minute to go in the first half, as we'll have a stop. As we'll have a timeout called for by ASD. Their final timeout of the first half, will take it with them. 48 seconds to go until halftime here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school's newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.fdic.
A fourth down scenario upcoming SD, as they're down 24-8 late here in the second quarter. Almost all of the scoring for both teams have come in this second quarter. As the pitch goes to Agee as he tries to reverse field, and this time contained by Noah Lee. So a nice job that time. Actually, the nice job on this drive for the Jacksonville Christian defense, as they were able to do their best job of containing some outstanding athletes in the backfield for the Silent Warriors.
Absolutely, and I was a little bit shocked that they ran that. I thought they were punted, being fourth down, a 2-score game. I don't think I would give him 30-something seconds left with 2 timeouts.
Not one of the best against one of the best quarterbacks, not only in 8-man, but really in the entire state.
Absolutely.
Because we could see Noah Lee as far as any classification, as far as the teams we cover in our F&N coverage area, or really anywhere in this state of Alabama for that matter.
Right, and I guarantee you're probably fixing to see him go for the end zone. You know, they're probably going to put it in the air. May run it and call a timeout, but he got the whole playbook, so he's going for the end zone. There it is right there.
Lee wants, as his pass is incomplete, intended for Dowdy, his wide receiver.
And see, nobody's hurt. That only took about 9 seconds. So
you see Lee showcase his arm that time. Maybe a little more air on that ball, as Bryson Dowdy did beat his defender on. The pass goes harmlessly to the ground in the end zone. I imagine we'll likely to hear from Coach Tommy Miller at halftime for Jacksonville Christian. Slow footing for the offenses out of the gate in the first quarter, but Jacksonville Christian has been able to score on their most recent 3.
Old school rule, James. You go right back at that same cornerback who just made that long run with a new receiver. I put another receiver on that side and go.
Here comes Lee, as he'll go to the right side now. And he gets taken down inbounds. Good pursuit from the secondary. Silent Warriors Hagler and Gary Whitted that helped on the tackle. And we have a timeout on the field, so I think it's going to be one of these quick timeouts with 18.2 seconds to go. And Eddie, just your overall thoughts as far as the first time for Jacksonville Christian and ASD to hit the field?
I mean, it's been good, clean football. You know, we had a few penalties, but, you know, that's expected early in the season. But overall, you know, both teams had pretty decent game plans. It's just, you know, the fact that Jacksonville has taken advantage 3 out of 4 times. He has only capitalized, you know, once, which they have scored twice, you know.
For most of the teams in the state of Alabama, certainly when it comes to the AISA and HSAA, this is a Jamboree week or the final week of fall practice. Their seasons will get underway for most of Alabama next week. Some teams will have an extra week of practice before they begin the season in the final week of August.
I tell you what, when you start football season, it's just great to play on that Friday, and then you kind of get up and do your review on Saturday, playing that first game.
Lee winds and throws into the end zone and caught for the touchdown by Dowdy. We're going to take a look at this throw again, but whether on the replay or at live speed, that was a picture-perfect throw. Cock commit Noah Lee.
Remember, I told you go back at the same defensive back.
And look at that arm and the placement that time against Hagler, right in the breadbasket to Bryson Dowdy. Impressive throw that time, and there's a reason that he's going to be playing at the collegiate level in 12 months. 2-point conversion upcoming as the lead increases now to 30-6. 2-point conversion try now for the Thunder. Around the right side, and he'll go in for another successful 2-point conversion opportunity. 6 seconds to go here in the first half as the lead now up to 32-6 in favor of Jacksonville Christian here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to us, and we're so thankful for the direction AIDB has given us.
Thanks to some afternoon thunderstorms comfortable August evening, right in the middle of August here in Talladega, Alabama. That's the F&N High School Football Game of the Week, and another Jacksonville Christian kickoff thanks to our friends just up the street in Munford at Carter's Hardware. Serving Munford since 1910. James Hardy, Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones, and our FNN crew with you from Kiwanis Field on the campus of ASD. Right in the heart of Talladega. I imagine we'll be coming back to Talladega here, if all holds serve, in about a month or so, as far as our F&N schedule later on this 25 season. That rolls away, but fielded by the Silent Warriors around the 35-yard line, as they'll have one more snap as Hagler able to recover that loose ball. Cornerback as well as a wide receiver, 5'6", 115 pounds, a junior. So I imagine one more snap to go here with just under 2 seconds left until we get to the halftime locker room. I believe that our Shasta Jones in position somewhere on the playing surface here at Kiwanis Field. We'll be hearing from her and JCA head coach Tommy Miller as far as his thoughts on the first half. One more play to go as we take a look at Brownlee, the quarterback, as he'll roll to the near side. As there goes the horn to indicate we are at halftime. As out of bounds goes Brownlee. As a good first half, good second quarter, really. Christians, they're able to score 3 times. This will send it down to Shasta Jones with Coach Tommy Miller.
That camera went down.
Okay.
I'll be we don't have to go quite on it. Coach Miller, how are you feeling about how the first half went for this game for you?
Well, believe it or not, I don't feel good at all. We haven't contained all night long. We're real fortunate to be ahead in the game. We finally started playing a little better on offense, but we have not played good defense at all. Not for a bad break or two, this ball game would be within a touchdown. So I don't feel good about the way we've played on defense.
What are you going to work on this second half to fix that defense?
Well, I don't know. You know, I've had 2 7th graders on the ends at one time. I've had a senior and a junior on there. What we've done has worked. So I don't know. We're just not getting after it like we need to. So I'm probably going to just talk about playing a little bit harder than what we've been playing. I will say this. We have a situation that we hadn't spoke about, and I'm not going to, but we got some people. We had one day to work with them on it. That if it wasn't for that, they'd probably be playing a lot better. But they've had one day of teaching, and that's all. So, you know, even though I'm upset about the way we've played, there is probably a reason we hadn't played that well.
We want to thank you, Coach Miller. Good luck this second half.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Shasta, and honest Coach Tommy Miller before going into the halftime locker room to see his team as the Jacksonville Christian Thunder on top 32-8 at the ASD Silent Warriors. Our opening game in the 2025 season here on the F&N High School Football Game.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
From the Loft Tackle Store, team in service.
From the team in parts.
From the sales team.
From the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800 Let our team help you win on the water.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. Every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability, outdoor dreams become reality.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. Show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The F&N High School Football Game of the Week here in the heart of Talladega, Kiwanis Field in Talladega at the campus of ASD as the Silent Warriors able excitement thanks to the Kendrick AG 62-yard touchdown run, but Jacksonville Christian able to flex their muscle in the second quarter thanks to the arm of Noah Lee as he was able to toss 3 touchdowns in that second quarter. A total of 4 touchdowns for the Thunder and also a couple for Anthony Gooch from Hoax Bluff High School as Jacksonville Christian with a 32-8 lead over ASD. James Hardy, Eddie Bullock. We heard from Shasta Jones with Coach Tommy Miller, and also we take a look as far as some of the musical talent from the ASD. Also take a look as far as those top 10 preseason rankings. Our first rankings across the state of Alabama, at least a little bit. I know preseason rankings means at least you can only put so much stock in them, but a little measuring stick before a lot of the teams across the state get off the starting block.
What we're looking at is 7A. In my opinion, I believe that's pretty accurate right there, that ranking right there, because based on what the teams did last year and actually getting an opportunity to see them play.
And Hoover back up as far as that top 5, of course, along with Thompson, and he would always, and Central Phoenix City and now Auburn High School. You can always count on those schools being in contention statewide. In Class 6A, and Sam Adams and his Oxford Yellow Jackets, a good showing as far as the preseason rankings coming off an outstanding semifinal run last year.
Right, and now I think Oxford, they may be a little bit underrated. I think they're probably going to be pretty doggone good this year coming up too. So, even though they're missing a couple of players, I believe they're still going to be pretty good.
Of course, Mason Mims departed off to Louisville last season, but Keenan Britt, Jalen Taylor, they're going to give the Yellow Jackets a chance to make some noise again in 2025. Also, you see Mountain Brook right behind Oxford as far as 6A Region 6. As we'll take a look at 5A, as Moody, at least atop the preseason rankings, the state runner-up last year in class, also leads at number 9. So that should be, once again, a interesting late-season rivalry matchup. And, of course, Coach Danny Horn, Central Clay County Volunteers, right in the mix in the top 5.
Right.
Let's move on to 4A. For Anniston this year?
Well, I spoke with Coach Jackson, and he told me that he only lost about maybe 4 or 5 seniors that actually played, and he pretty much getting his entire offense back except for one player, so they should be pretty good.
And then it'll be very interesting to see what Jacob Kelly up Cherokee County does after they've made the Super 7 3 years in a row, but have not quite been able to get across that finish line in the state championship game in 4A. But still, at least establishing, as far as up in Cherokee County, one of the top programs in the state in Class 4A. Class 3A, Piedmont, a semifinal run for Coach Jonathan Miller in his second season. They're ranked number 2. And you also take a look as far as the rest of those rankings. Mars Hill Bible up in Northwest Alabama at the top spot, and then Fife right behind Piedmont at number 3. And then you also got Geraldine and Gordo that round out the top 5. And then in Class 2A, Reeltown at the top of the pecking order in the preseason, and then Pisgah at number 2. And then interesting with Coosa Christian going through all the off-the-field adversity, as just announced recently, believe this week, that Russ Probst will be head coach for the Conquerors this season. And then Class 1A, and then Wadley right now, the class of Class 1A at that top spot. And then you've got traditional powers in Leroy, Sweetwater, and Maplesville. So especially at the very top in Spring Garden, number 6 in those top 10 rankings in Class 1A. But at least in 1A, those top 4 teams, a lot of tradition as far as that top 5 in Class 1A. At halftime here at Talladega at the campus of ASD, it is Jacksonville Christian 32 and ASD. More of our halftime coverage here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week after this.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction AIDB has given us.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
At halftime here at ASD, Kiwanis Field, as we'll throw it down to the field and hear the musical talents from Warriors Marching Band.
Band and drumline. Good job. See lots of football players and cheerleaders out there doing double duty.
And there you see some of the musical talents from the Red Wolves Marching Band. And also, at least talking with like earlier this week, some of the football players that you see, at least on the field during the ball game, also participating in the marching band. Contavious Tinney Hill, one of those fine athletes. And looks like about 4 of the Silent Warriors in what is called the marching band here at ASD. The Red Wolves Marching Band, as they are called here at ASD, perform for the folks here at Kiwanis Field at halftime as Jacksonville Christian leads by a score of 32-8. James Hardy, Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones, and our FNN. Turned out to be a very pleasant evening here in Talladega, Alabama, and this is just the first of many, many games to come that Eddie and I and Shasta and Jim and the rest of our FNN crew will be rolling to at a high school field near you across our fine portion of the state. And we're scheduled to be at Oxford High School at Lamar Field next week for a big season opener for the Oxford Yellow Jackets as they look to defend their region championship from a season ago, as they had an outstanding fourth-year campaign under Sam Adams last year. Look at our game of the week next week. Central Carrollton, an outstanding program with one of the top running backs in the state of Georgia that we'll get to see next Friday night over at Lamar Field.
Out.
Now, to see Eddie as far as how Sam Adams kind of manages the quarterback situation with the talented Mason Mims going up to Louisville. But we talked about Keenan Britt, Jalen Taylor, and I imagine a whole lot of others. There's still going to be some talent behind all of those fun. Once we get to Lamar Field, at least in about 20-something hours or at least a week from now. Next week.
Well, that's the thing,
That's
James.
a whole lot more hours there, buddy.
Well, I tell you, Jim, I recognize that on the fly, but you're absolutely right.
I don't know where your math came from. Eddie, I think we should have held him back. What do you think?
Hey, his math is not mathing.
That's right.
All right. Well, guys, I finally got my stuff going down here so I could join you and we could talk a little football. You know, this 8-man stuff's exciting.
Absolutely. It's my first experience doing it, and, hey, great experience for me.
I'll tell you what, I remember at least the small Christian school that I went to, North River Christian Academy in Tuscaloosa. They played 8-man football, so that was one of the last. It's been 20 years or so since the last time I saw an 8-man football game. But I tell you, and from ASD as well, despite them being on the short end of a 32-8 score right now at halftime, ASD has shown they've got some talent to present to the folks here in Talladega this season for 2025.
Well, hey, James, not to take anything away from JCA, which they've played great. You add that score that they got called back, and then you go back to the kickoff right here at the end where they gave them possession. At midfield, you may be looking at a different ball game, and it's just making adjustments right there. But, JCA, credit to them. They took advantage of they capitalized on all the.
Eddie, I think that we talk about this a lot when we talk about games, but one or two plays can make a huge difference in a football game.
Hey, you said it, and that, I was telling James earlier, and I don't like to criticize my colleagues, which I'm not criticizing, but, the way it was at football, I probably would have kicked it deep, with a minute to go and made them try to go the length of the field versus giving them half the field with the great arm that Lee has.
And there you see our matchup this evening, our season opener for our 15th campaign as far as high school football in the state of Alabama in our chunk of the Yellowhammer State. Right now, Jacksonville Christian with 4 touchdowns plus 4 successful 2-point conversions. We heard from Coach Tommy Miller prior to him entering the halftime. We'll also hear from Coach Kullick here in just a moment, as he has at least the sign language ASD, we'll call it interpreter, awaiting as far as his eventual exit from the locker room. Let's go and step aside, and we'll hear from Coach Kullick on the other side of this timeout.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
From the Loft Tackle Store.
From the team in service. From the team in parts.
From the sales team.
From the Bucks Island family, good boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
An outstanding montage that you just saw as far as 15 seasons of live streaming high school football, really in a lot of ways pioneering as far as the live streaming coverage of high school football in our great state of Alabama. Our 15th season high school football coverage as far as YouTube and Facebook Live and Roku and all, basically any live streaming platform you can think of, we are on it as far as FNN is concerned. And don't forget the FNN app as well, as we're getting pretty close to hearing the head coach Paul Cullick, as he will be having an interpreter as far as assisting us with Shasta Jones's conversation with Coach Cullick. And there you see in his 19th season, Coach Cullick with a 78 and a two-time NDIAA Coach of the Year, originally from the Buckeye State of Ohio, and played his high school ball at the North Carolina School for the Deaf. Looks as if that Shasta Jones getting close to, I believe, visiting with Coach Cullick, as at least recapping the scoring so far for ASD. First off, Kendrick Agee, an exciting 62-yard touchdown run. And then Noah Lee, a big second quarter with 3 touchdown passes. One of the to Anthony Gooch, which was his first receiving touchdown and second overall touchdown. And also touchdown passes to Jack Henry Harris and Bryson Dowdy in that second quarter. And I think our Shasta Jones is ready, and we'll send it down to her.
First half went for your team. They showed up. They played hard. What do you feel about it?
Well, honestly, I appreciate that the boys are playing so hard. That second quarter, I think we kind of ran out of gas. We had to make some substitutions, but I think the boys are playing well. We just need to cut those mental errors that we're making from exhaustion, but I think they're coming out in the second half. They're going to play harder. I think they will.
And how about for your defense to stop the JCA drive?
I think our defense has been pretty good. We've had some big misses. We're trying to slow the team down, but they're a fast team, and we just have to keep working on slowing them down. So I think we're getting there. I think we're doing a good job. We're just trying to not allow them to make big plays fast.
Coach Cullick, and thank you, Dean, for helping interpret for us, and good luck the second half.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to send it back to you guys.
Excellent job, Shasta, that time with our halftime visit, pre-third quarter visit with Coach Paul Cullick. ASD trails 32-8, but they had a lot of highlights, and really that 32-8 score right now in favor of Jacksonville Christian, not necessarily indicative of how well at times that the Silent Warriors were able to play. As we bring back Eddie Bullock, what do you expect to see both teams coming down the final 2 quarters of play?
Well, as Coach mentioned, he said that they kind of gave out of gas, but I expect them to probably put it all out on the field this second half. The most important thing is going to be to get a stop this first series from JCA because, they JCA to their second half, and I think ASD has to go out to try to get a stop. It'd be kind of tough for them if JCA were to score.
Now, both teams in the first quarter had interceptions that stopped deep drives. And then Jacksonville Christian was able to get the first late in the first quarter on a 4-yard touchdown plunge from Anthony Gooch, the first of his 2 touchdowns on the ground, as we are just moments away from beginning the third quarter. And then Noah Lee basically took over the second quarter with 3 touchdowns, and he was forced to scramble for much of the first. His athletic ability and also his poise in making some outstanding individual plays.
Right, he did. I know on 4 occasions he avoided sacks and got huge gains out of those sacks. So, he definitely know how to move around in that pocket. He's very familiar with it. He know when to spin out, and that's what that senior leadership does for you. He does a great job.
And then just from seeing, as far as that receiving core for the Thunder, having to replace one of the top players in the state in Jesse Ganaway, their big play wide receiver last year, it looks as if they're going to basically a receiver by committee, and we've kind of seen that so far this evening. And really about 4 different players, maybe 5 or so, able to get in the action on receptions. Bryson Dowdy, a touchdown reception. Jack Henry Harris, a touchdown reception as well. Also, Skylar Kreider and Anthony Gooch, as we mentioned, out of the backfield with a touchdown reception to begin the second quarter.
Well, James, it's pretty easy when you got a quarterback like Lee that's hitting you between the numbers. It's pretty easy to make a reception now. At least you got to make an effort to catch it because he's putting.
We're about to get the third quarter underway here from the heart of Talladega. Carter's Hardware presents this ASD kickoff as the Silent Warriors receive the football to begin the ball game. And there you see Carter's Hardware, a Munford tradition since 1910. That's a 115-year celebration for them this year. We're celebrating our 15th season here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week. A lot of outstanding football that we've shown all across this part of Alabama is alive and well as we go into the 2025 season. And certainly a big thanks to all of our sponsors over the years and for you at home, whether live or on demand, for viewing us all of these seasons. Ready to get the third quarter underway, and a one-hop grab that time along the front line for the Thunder, as one of the upmen able to at least secure the football and set up the Thunder for their first offensive possession of the evening, as you had Grant Daffrun, the freshman, able to fall on the football. So he'll take the football at the 44-yard line, a first down and 10 upcoming. So Jacksonville Christian, as we heard from Coach Tommy Miller, even though they have a 3-score lead, Coach Miller, Eddie, too pleased with his team's effort in that first 2 quarters of play.
Well, I can relate to it. A lot of times, in my coaching career, I've been, in situations where we've been winning, but we just wasn't executing like we should, and so I can understand that side of it, yeah.
Here's the give to Gooch as he has tons of running room out of 1 tackle, but he'll be stopped on forward progress after a good first down gainer, and that'll provide a first down for the Thunder. Able to sidestep the initial effort from Edson Rojas. As it looked as if also Demarion Hagler secondary spot to help on the tackle. So a first down brought to you tonight by our friends from the Chamber of Commerce from Talladega, Munford, and Lincoln. So basically all around a short drive from where we are in Talladega. basically 10 to 15 minutes either northeast or north from Talladega as far as Lincoln and Munford. Here's the quick throw to the far side, and that's in and out of the hands of Dowdy, incomplete.
And I think the cornerback may have given too much cushion on that play. That could have easily been an interception had he been up. Went straight through his hand.
Now, Coach Tommy Miller, a grizzled veteran of the coaching scene in our state, Eddie. How much, even for someone like Coach Miller, is it a challenge as far as in what appears to be a lopsided score right now early in the third quarter? Is it to try and keep his team's focus here to begin the second half?
Well, you got a team that understands the game plan. It's actually not that hard. I think, he mentioned about him playing harder, but I also think he wants them to execute better, at what they do.
Second down. Lee on the give. Gooch up the middle. Forward inside the 35. And he's wrapped up and taken down there. So you have AG that leads the way on the tackle. Also coming up on the tackle was Tennyhill. Contavious Tennyhill actually also plays in the Red Wolves band ASD during halftime. So you see that from time to time where some of the football players will also suit up, grab an instrument in the marching band and go play for in front of the folks at halftime.
Absolutely. A lot of your smaller classifications, they have to do that because they, like as you mentioned, double duty.
Here's Lee to the far side, as that's worked pretty well so far for the Thunder, as he's taken down by LeKendrick Agee around the 25-yard line, as that is close to, if not another, a Chamber of Commerce first down from these Talladega, Lincoln, and Munford. Our third quarter underway. Our first game of the season here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. Our journey just beginning all the way until Black Friday when it comes to the state semi-season. Always a lot of outstanding football that we'll get to see and that will be awaiting us through the rest of 2025.
Oh, yeah, and I can't wait.
Here's the whistle before the snap. Not sure if. Yes, we do have a flag, and that's an offside.
Still first down.
As indicated by our referee, Thomas Pratt. We'll be at Lamar Field next week for Oxford hosting Central Carrollton out of Carrollton, Georgia. A return trip for after they hosted Oxford last year to open up the Yellow Jackets portion of 2024. Season opener tonight for JCA and ASD. As Gooch goes right into a pile of defenders as he gets close to the first down, about a yard shy of the first down. At Jordan Jones on the tackle for the Silent Warriors. The Silent Warriors able to get a LeKendrick Agee touchdown in the second quarter. Agee also had a touchdown taken away earlier in that second quarter. Might be a little more, even more respectable two-score game if it wasn't for that holding penalty about 3 or so minutes into that second quarter. However, the Thunder on the move in the red zone. Gooch, quick hitter up the middle as he'll drive a tackler with him. As it was Hagler saving a touchdown, but it is a first and goal situation coming up for the JCA Thunder.
It was a good situation right there. You didn't have a linebacker in the middle of the field, so, he gave him a quick dive, and once you only got a safety back there. Once he get to the net, you're talking 12 yards deep.
Tell you what, we've seen a lot of looks as far as formation-wise for the JCA offense tonight. Some I formation, actually quite a bit of that, but also a lot of spread to showcase that arm of Noah Lee. Anthony Gooch with a good season-opening ball game so far. JCA without the services of Brody and Dawson Wilkerson this evening. As the give off the right side for Harris as he'll walk in for the Thunder touchdown. We'll take another look at this 3-yard scamper from Thunder sophomore running back Jack Henry Harris as he scores his second touchdown of the evening. That makes it 38-8. Jacksonville Christian with their largest lead of the night. The season opener for both teams. First of 4 home games this year for ASD. Well, Jacksonville Christian, they'll open up their home schedule next week against Pineville Christian. In fact, they'll have a couple of home games to close out August. 2-point try as the quick pass into the end zone for the 2-point. Kreider able to reel it in. Skylar Kreider on the 2-point conversion. So that'll make it now 40-8 in favor of JCA as we'll step aside for this timeout here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5. Bring it for free refills throughout the year and save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Carter's Hardware about to present a JCA kickoff after the Thunder able to score on their opening possession here in the third quarter on his first touchdown run, but also with a touchdown reception in the first half as there's a little squib kick to the far side, a loose football, but able to pounce on that football was the Silent Warriors' Gary Whitted, the junior wide receiver and defensive end. 8 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the third quarter. We still have at least some more players to feature as far as our own Shasta Jones throughout this second half. But a big night regardless of how this game turns scoreboard for ASD, as they're able to showcase as far as their football program, 8-man football, and also the institution that is ASD here in Talladega. And certainly a big thanks for their hospitality this week, as be AG with the call off the right side as he's bottled up pretty solidly that time for minimal yardage, if not maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
They got a little bit too much penetration right there, and then they run into the boundary, you know. So it's kind of tough, and then, you know, they got the best player on the field. You know, lead quarterback is playing outside linebacker on that side, or cornerback, so it's kind of tough.
And I tell you what, when you talk about even regardless of the score, talking with Coach Cullick earlier this week, as far as what the football program means to ASD, we'll see AG corral the snap. And now reverse field and sidesteps a couple of defenders, and he's on the move and tripped up maybe by the sock that time, or else he still might have been running, Eddie.
Absolutely. Shoestring tackle, and I mean, if string tackle him right there, you know, he's out to the races.
I tell you what, that's some outstanding camera work right there on the flag, and we know what it's for, Eddie.
5 yards from the previous spot.
What would have been a long first down run for LeKendrick.
Right.
So unfortunately, it looks like they're going to call an illegal formation on the play. So that's going to negate what would have been about a 30-yard first down run.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Thomas Pratt's crew, first week for our Zebras this week. They're doing a pretty good job as far as officiating this ball game to get the 2025 season underway. Now, if we were talking about as far as just what the football program means for ASD, and I mean with all the talent that we get to see for the regular season, then well into the postseason, you kind of take for granted as far as some of the players as minimal yardage, maybe lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage that time for Edson Rojas. But as far as Coach Cullick is concerned, for a program like, and really a lot of programs around the state of Alabama, but especially for ASD, very meaningful for the parents, as they're certainly always excited to see their kids play. And at a school like ASD, and they do have a couple of transfers, one from Woodlawn, Eddie, to be able to perform, especially with an 8-man program, because that means, you know what that means, a lot of opportunity for these kids to play.
Right, and they got a pretty nice crowd for 8-man football. I mean, I love it. I mean, it's shows the support that they have out there.
And a lot of support right now being shown to the young Thunder that's down on the field. Let's step aside for this injury timeout. You're watching the F&N High School Football Game of the Week. 7:22 to go in the third quarter.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Preston Strawder, the young man, comes off the field. Appears just some cramping issues, as is not unusual, certainly, for this time of the year in the Deep South. Play back underway. AG tries to follow his blocking, but runs right into a stout Thunder defender that time. Brings the lightning, does Ethan Compton, the senior.
Well, just getting penetration right there, especially to the short side of the field. They're going to have to give him some kind of misdirection, spread him out to get AG, one-on-one.
So we go under the 7-minute mark here in the third quarter. A Jacksonville Thunder advantage, up 40-8. They've led the entire game, so. And looks as if punt formation time, as it's kicking time. There's trouble with the snap, but kick able to be at least released on the punt, and actually pretty good that time as it angles toward the near sideline at the 40-yard line, as Dowdy just wisely let it bounce. Coach Tommy Miller's squad back at home the next couple of weeks against Pineville Christian, and then I'll tell you what, at least when I was playing basketball over at North River Christian Academy, Eddie, 20-some years ago, Tuscaloosa Christian was always a program, whether football, that was a state power, and certainly according to Coach Tommy Miller, they'll have a pretty interesting ball game in a couple of weeks, and we'll have, speaking of interesting ball games, a really good out-of-region ball game for both Central Carrollton and Oxford as our F&N ball game of the week, with our Bama Shats countdown to kickoff at 6:30 next Friday night. 1st and 10. Here's the pitch back to Harris as he'll escape one tackle and turns it upfield for pretty decent yardage of about 5 or 6. Take a look at some of the silent warriors that help out. Cedric Caver, 5'11", 185 pounds, the sophomore. 16 initially that came out for Coach Cullick to begin the fall practice. He's added a couple to the roster playing tonight. They'll be able to play, though, next week. So a total of 18 for the Silent Warriors this season. And don't forget, not this Tuesday, next Tuesday, the F&N Coaches Show will return for more spotlight as far as some of our coaches and players from Harris takes the pitch and gets wrapped up that time by the Silent Warriors cornerback in Demarion Hagler. A big thanks to all of our fine sponsors once again on our F&N High School Football Game of the Week. Sheds presenting our countdown to kickoff. The Foundation from the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind presented our second quarter as we come to the Heat timeout, and we'll take it with them here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction AIDB has given us.
Jacksonville Christian on the road tonight, albeit a fairly short trip down Highway 21 to Talladega this evening. ASD by a score of 40-8. James Hardy, Eddie Bullock, and Shasta Jones roaming the sidelines for us. Jim Jacobs and the rest of our FNN crew as we open the 2025 campaign. Clock rolls. Under 5:20 to go, third quarter. Lee to the far side as he's taken down from behind. Good pursuit from behind by the Silent Warriors, able to make the tackle.
So great speed, great recovery speed on that.
Let's go ahead and send it down to the field, and we'll hear more about Noah Lee from our own Shasta Jones.
I caught up with Noah this week, asked him what a goal that he set for himself this season, and especially with this starting out game. He said maybe individually, maybe not, but he wants to win the National Conference Championship for JCA. So undefeated, he wants to make his teammates better, and overall, he hopes they can get closer to Christ as they go throughout this year. He said he wins is what he is worried about. Personal stats and stuff, he thinks that's going to come from trying to win and getting everybody better.
That's a good attitude to take from Noah Lee. To Jones for that info. Swing pass to Gooch complete. Breaks out of one tackle. He's still down the sideline. One man to beat as he's driven out of bounds about the 20-yard line. Anthony Gooch has been impressive making his JCA debut tonight, Eddie.
Yeah, he did a good, safe pass, possession. He got it, and, you know, he took it up the sideline. I mean, he did a great job. Not afraid of contact.
I bet, Eddie, you would have liked to have had that at fullback not too long ago.
Absolutely, man. Hey, anytime you got a body like that,
Of course, Anthony Gooch, a star for Hoax Bluff for the last couple of seasons before, as we mentioned, making the transfer down, along with a little family heritage as far as the calling to the ministry with his father, at least the ministry journey over in Jacksonville. Here's the play fake, and the quick throw over the middle is complete as the catch made, looks like, by Dowdy, as he's had a good night tonight already with the touchdown and 1 yard away from what would have been his second receiving touchdown of the evening. And that's a good tackle as well by Edson Rojas, one of those leaders on the ASD roster, according to Coach Cullick, for the Silent Warriors. A showcase night as far as ASD appearing on our for the first time in program history. Also, Jacksonville Christian showcasing their talents after coming off of a state championship 2024 season. From the 1 yard line, as it'll be Lee, his first rushing touchdown of the evening. Touchdown. 2:41 to go in the third quarter. As we'll take a look at Lee going off of left guard as he gets the 1 yard touchdown run. Fourth touchdown in total for the Jacksonville State commit. And of course, just a couple of months away or so in December, early December, when Mr. Lee will be signing his signature on those papers to go to Jacksonville State.
Yeah, he does great. You can see the leadership in him right here, you know, and he's, I mean, he did what he needed to do on that play, but he don't mind sharing the football. Yes, right there,
And Harris just walks in on the 2-point try to make it 48-8. So we'll step aside for this timeout. All JCA Thunder so far as we open up the 2025 season, our 15th season, providing the best in high school football here in the F&N High School Football.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what the county has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Kickoff for Jacksonville Christian as a mad scramble for the football from the kickoff, but it appears that the Silent Warriors able to get on the football as they'll have the football first down and 10 just inside their 40-yard line late in the third quarter. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go in this third quarter, and I'm not sure how Coach Miller quarter so far, but I imagine from up here, Eddie, from our vantage point, pretty good third quarter so far for the Thunder coming out of halftime.
Well, they've taken advantage of every opportunity that they had, and they're taking care of the football, and I think that's basically what he's concerned about, you know, is that, you know, you getting it and go out of it and, you know, not turning it over, not giving up a whole lot defensively.
And then you look at for ASD, a tough second half, really a tough last couple of quarters, but you look at as far as playing in front of a team like Jacksonville, to get them ready for the rest of their 2025 schedule. In fact, we'll take a look at some of the teams that will be featured on the Silent Warriors schedule for this year. But right now we have the whistles blown and a timeout for ASD, and we'll step aside as well with them in the third quarter as it's JCA 48 and ASD 8.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
It's our first of the F&N High School Football Game of the Week for 2025. And it's out of the timeout. ASD with the football. Brownlee on the counter give to Agee as he bounces off of a couple of tacklers and taken down by Downey. Let's take a look at what ASD has as far as their 2025 campaign. As they have to go on the road, basically make lengthy road trips for all of their road games, Eddie. They're going to Little Rock, Arkansas next Saturday to take on the Arkansas School for the Deaf, and also trips to Indiana, Mississippi, and South Carolina over the 2025 regular season. But on the flip side, they only had 2 games at home last year. They have doubled that total, including tonight this year.
Which that's great. You know, they have to do a lot of traveling, which, you know, it's a great thing to be able to play in front of your home crowd, you know, so.
There's the loose football, as coming up with it is the Thunder, as they come up with their second turnover. Making the fumble recovery was Ethan Compton. And there you see just a slippery football that time for Brownlee, as there is a flag on the play.
Formation on the offense, that penalty's declined. Result of the play is a first down. White.
Get the football back as the penalty obviously declined, but just another part of the learning process for the Warriors. As Coach Cullick, he wanted to put his team up against someone as good as JCA tonight, and they're learning, hey, you have to be on top of your game to perform in front of a state championship caliber squad in JCA.
I think fatigue is playing a part in it too. You know, I think they're getting a little bit tired, and you know, you start making a lot of mental mistakes when you get tired.
Noah Lee back out. He lost the football, able to get it back on that pitch back. As here you see a new running back in it. Time for TJ Scott, as he was able to cut it up the field, but we got a flag back upfield. And looks as if this first down run's coming back. And I believe we also have a man down for ASD. Chris Weaver down on the ground at the far side of the field, as we'll have right now, along with Weaver being attended to, we'll hear from Thomas Pratt in just a moment as far as that last penalty. And are taking a knee as far as Weaver being down. Both teams a lot of respect for each other this evening. While we have an opportunity, as Thomas Pratt gives us the holding penalty, we'll send it back down to Shasta Jones for another spotlight player for our game tonight.
Well, Chris Weaver, I was able to speak to him this week during practice. He said one of his most fun parts for him being on the team has been playing running back, doing a lot of running. His goal is to get 10 touchdowns this season. And he doesn't just play football. He plays multiple sports. He's a wrestling champion, multiple third-place finisher for wrestling in the 1A, 4A state championships. He does cheer, competition cheer qualifier for state, plays goal ball, took second place in that for nationals. He still has a few more sports he wants to conquer, like soccer, rugby, martial arts. Chris is an athlete you're going to want to keep your eyes on.
And Weaver's made about 3 good tackles so far this evening off the field. I imagine probably just more cramping as we get toward the end of this third quarter. JCA able to take a 32-8 lead into the halftime locker rooms. They've scored a couple of touchdowns here in the third quarter. Thunder football at the 40 of the Silent Warriors. Pitch back as Scott again on the call, as he'll get taken down inside the 35-yard line. And that should be close enough for a Thunder first down. Kentavious Tenneyhill on the tackle, and there you see the Chamber of Commerce from Talladega, Lincoln, and Munford present all of our first downs tonight. Always happy to get the high school football off the ground as we enter our 15th season of covering and live streaming high school football games in our part of Alabama. Scott again on the toss. Good open field tackle that time. Able to make the one-on-one tackle on Scott. And you have to keep in mind as well, we see with the 1A and the 2A teams and sometimes the 3A teams, Eddie, these players, they're going to be playing, they're playing two-way. Of course, numbers limited as far as both teams this year with combined teams on their rosters, about 42 players or so, but a good effort that time on the tackle by Brownlee.
Absolutely, and it's tough, man. You know, it just remind me so much of 1A ball, you know, when you just got few numbers, man, and it just, you know, unless you're in great shape, you know, which normally it's conditioning, it's the heat factor that drains the salt out of your body. You start cramping, you know.
We'll send it to the fourth quarter. We're through 3. It's JCA 48 and ASD 8.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction he's given us.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
From the Loft Tackle Store. From the team in service.
From the team in parts. From the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
TJ Scott able to turn it upfield on the toss sweep as quarter. A first down run for Scott and JCA as they're on the move in ASD Silent Warriors territory. They'll spot the football in the red zone just inside the 20-yard line. Our first game of the 2025 season and the season opener and ASD. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones, Jim Jacobs, and our FNN crew. Happy to bring you once again the best in high school football for a 15th season here on FNN. Again, he's gotten 4 consecutive carries as he gets taken down, but not before another first down run, or maybe close to it, around the 10-yard line. Eli Brockman, among others, help out on the tackle. 18 players on the ASD roster and close to 24 for Jacksonville Christian this year. They do have a couple of their players due to Thunder that are not available tonight. A little bit of a slow start for the Thunder through much of the first quarter, but able to turn it on in the second and throughout the second. Here's Scott around the left side as he'll turn the corner and loses the football, but one of his teammates able to fall on it just shy of the goal line. And looks like Kreider able to get the recovery as we'll take another look. I'm not sure who got the strip that time as Kreider able. And that was just shy of that goal line. So JCA very fortunate to keep the football.
Absolutely.
However, it's another Chamber of Commerce first down run from the communities of Talladega and Munford. Here comes a first and goal at the doorstep of the goal line. Pitch and going into the end zone is TJ Scott for his first touchdown of the season. Scott just he still has a lot of football to go with the Thunder as you see him spin around an initial tackle. Actually pretty good penetration that time for the Silent Warriors defense, but Scott just able to get off of that initial effort on the tackle and fall into the end zone for a touchdown.
I think they may be right now. I think, the numbers is kind of hurting them, and especially having 3 of the starters on the sideline right now. So
JCA has officially crossed the half-century mark as they're now at a 54 8 advantage. A 2-point conversion try coming up. We played 2 minutes 20 seconds so far of the fourth quarter. And then they'll try as far as showcasing some of Noah Lee's kicking talents as he's on for the PAT. Dowdy on the hold. On the way, that is up, and that is no good. So the try no good as we'll take the timeout with 9:40 to go until we get to the finish line for our first week of our FNN season. It is JCA on top of ASD here in Talladega.
Looking to transform? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at Bama Sheds. Call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
ASD able to recover at the kickoff, presented by Carter's Hardware, a tradition of excellence in 1910. James Hardy and Coach Eddie Bullock, as well as Shasta Jones and our FNN crew. Next Friday night, we'll be at Lamar Field for Oxford's season opener against Central Carrollton. Should be another game as far as those two teams as they open up 2024 over in Carrollton. A short commute for Central Carrollton coming across the Georgia-Alabama border on I-20 next week. One of the top running backs in the state of Georgia we'll see next week. As there you see some good defense by Jacksonville Christian to bottle up the Silent Warriors ball carrier. And found it very interesting as far as when we talked with Coach Cullick earlier this week, Eddie. Prior to coming down to Talladega, he coached at the Kentucky School for the Deaf. Ending run there as part of his 25 years overall as head coach, but had a lot of trouble as far as trying to beat the ASD when he was at the Kentucky School for the Deaf. So when the time came that ASD needed a new head coach and Coach Cullick was asked to come lead the Silent Warriors program, because the times that ASD was able to beat Coach Cullick's Kentucky School for the Deaf squads, he was like, yes, I'm going to answer that call to come to Talladega.
Well, you know the old saying, if you can't beat them, join them.
That's exactly what I pretty much gathered from Coach Cullick earlier this week. And here's AG gathering some field as he's had a nice evening with about a half a dozen or so outstanding runs, as AG showing you at least some higher HSAA classification type talent on several runs so far this evening, as he comes up a little bit gimpy in that jersey, just about to fall off into.
Well, he's extremely fast, and I know he should be well over 100 yards. You know, he should, with the runs he got, he probably should be over about 150 yards.
Here's AG on the snap, as he'll find some room on the right side, wrapped up and taken down. Noah with TJ Scott and some others help out on the stop. About to go under that 8-minute mark in tonight's football game. Very wet earlier today thanks to some summertime afternoon thunderstorms about 2:30 to 4:30. Definitely got the field wet good and soaked earlier today, but it's turned into a very, very nice evening to open up the season for both of these teams. Here's the snap and turning around the Edson as he finds daylight, and he's in for the score. First touchdown of the season for Edson Rojas, as that's the first second-half score of the night for the Silent Warriors. As we'll take another look at Rojas on his touchdown scamper of 27 yards.
And on that, everybody kind of pinned their man to the inside, and he showed great speed. He just scampered around that end pretty fast.
So 2-point conversion try. You'll see Rojas along with AG and Brownlee into the game, as well as Chris Weaver. Chris Weaver that had some cramping, but thankfully A-OK, as he'll take the snap and go right up the middle, and he'll just pile drive his way into the end zone for an extra 2 points. So ASD with the touchdown from Rojas plus the 2-point conversion to make it 54-16 in favor of JCA here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Your neighborhood stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, Grub Mart has everything you need: gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Jacksonville Christian on top ever since late in the first quarter, but ASD, the Silent Warriors, able to punch in their down of the evening thanks to Edson Rojas, one of those leaders on the Silent Warriors squad this year. That's a pretty good kickoff as Gooch fields from the 18. Goes to the far numbers at the far sideline and now turns on the speed as he gets a good return for Anthony Gooch, as he already has a couple of touchdowns this evening, and he's been an impact player so far in his debut game in a JCA uniform. And tell you what, we talked about this night being a good, really preparation for the rest of the season for ASD, and with the speed we've seen from the Silent Warriors, it's also the same even in a winning effort right now for Jacksonville Christian relative to what they should expect in the rest of their schedule this year. There you see the football right at the 45-yard line. We're around the 7-minute mark to go until we get to the finish line for the first time this year. Always good to get high school football back up and running. Of course, the Friday nights ever so precious when it comes to the of our communities in the state. In at quarterback now is Dowdy as he dropped the snap, but able to recover and get a pretty good gain of it, as he's able to get inside the 40, in fact, to the 35-yard line, and that's pretty close to, if not good enough, for a down. I'll tell you what, no matter what happens as far as what the eventual final score, Eddie, a lot of positives still for both teams to take out of tonight.
Absolutely. It's great. You know. First of all, my hat's off to Coach Cullick for playing the state champs, 8-man state champs. It take a lot of heart to do something like that. So that lets you know what his plans are for later on down the season.
When he also mentioned that just how tight the relationship he has with Coach Miller, at least to Shasta and myself earlier this week. Talk about more of that here in just a moment. There's a quick kick by JCA that'll land inside the 5-yard line. Nicely done that time by the Thunder, as it'll get take And I think we've got another feature as far as one of our players down along the sideline from Shasta Jones, and we'll send it down to her, I believe, here, right? We'll send it back to, actually send it to our own Jim Jacobs as we have a timeout on the field at the Heat timeout here in Talladega.
You know, we are mentioning here, guys, our 15th year anniversary of doing what we all love to do on Friday nights in the fall, but it's nice to know that people out there are watching it and appreciating it. And we had a nice text from a person, I don't know if it's a man. They sent me the message. They said, "Hey Jim, I've never seen programming better than FNN. Incredible work and commentary. Watching from Mobile, Alabama, and thank you for showcasing the Blind Institute. You guys keep up the great work." We appreciate it.
Well, we certainly appreciate comments from all across the state of Alabama, and you're just, at least that's the good part of technology, Eddie, is that, hey, you could be anywhere across the world. You've got an internet connection, and hey, you can see a family member or watch any game from pretty much anywhere that we're at.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to Alabama.
I'll tell you what, as you know, Eddie, there's some outstanding high school football and high school athletics that's played in that part of Alabama.
That's right. That's right.
So one of, especially for upper tier D1 talent, a big hotbed when it comes to the Yellowhammer State. It's Brownlee out of the shotgun. He'll wind, and he's in trouble in the end zone, and he'll get it off to AG, but is he ruled down? As we'll take a look, incomplete. As apparently Brownlee just able to get that pass off before his knee hit the ground in the end zone. We'll take a look at that pressure applied, and a good presence of mind for Brownlee to find AG, but the ball goes incomplete.
Right, he got it off just in time. That was a great play on his part right there to avoid the safety.
Also, it looked as if Logan Brodeur able to get in on the pressure. About almost the halfway point, actually past the halfway point of this final quarter of play. Nothing doing that time for the Silent Warriors, as excellent defense from JCA's Griffin Daffron, the 7th grader. In fact, you see 4 7th graders for Coach Tommy Miller and the JCA Thunder this season. I'll tell you what, even for 8-man football with less numbers that you can put out on the field for a regular, even with a roster in the low 20s, and that means even those 7th graders, they're going to get their opportunity to play and show what they've got, as we have a timeout on the field. A timeout for ASD, and we'll take the timeout with them with under 5 minutes to go until the end of the ball game with JCA on top.
We had no idea that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction AIDB has given us.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability. Outdoor dreams become reality.
Under 5 minutes to go, 4:55 left in the ball game. As keeping out of the shotgun off the right side, and might have gotten that first down, was Kendrick Agee. Scored a touchdown tonight and has been a playmaker so far for the Silent Warriors. Football across the 10 and across the 15 as well at the 16-yard line. About 4.5 minutes left in the ball game as JCA took an 8-1, 32-8 at halftime, and they've never really let off the gas pedal since. Now ASD has been able to score in the second half as there's a nice mishandled snap, and the flag comes in, and a tackle made, but we'll sort out everything there on that busted play. a good night as far as ASD, regardless of the eventual outcome, able to showcase their 8-man football program and the ASD institution here on FNN.
Fraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down. You want to decline that, don't you?
But, we obviously football at this time of the year, Eddie, what we all know and love and talk about on every Friday night, but what ASD does, not only for Talladega, but for the state, our state, as far as the visually and the hearing impaired, valuable service for our state, Eddie. And also, when talked with Coach Cullick as far as just what it means for these players to get out on the football field, be able to practice as far as their communication with the sign language, and really kind of or it's just the communication part of our game that we see each and every week that can also kind of another one of those things that can be taken for granted.
Listen, I have so much appreciation for them being able to communicate like that. I could only imagine if I put a piece of tape across my mouth and I had to coach the entire game, communicating with those guys, man. So I'm impressed. I mean, really, really impressed with the overall communication and just what I've seen.
AG on the carry has a second quarter touchdown run of 62 yards. A couple of big first down runs throughout the ball game. Gets back to the 15-yard line. As we're under 4 minutes to go in the football game. AG on the snap as he rounds the left side, and he finds some big yardage. Still on his feet, needs one and taken down, or else he would have gone off to the end zone for what would have been his second touchdown of the night, but prevented by Logan Brodeur. So that run of 40 yards to put the Silent Warriors into Thunder territory. We approach 3 minutes to go in the football game as a substitution set to check in as AG gets a much-deserved breather. We'll be at Oxford next week for our second FNN high school football game of this early portion 25 season. And, of course, for the Yellow Jackets and much of the state of Alabama will be their 2025 opener. Had a great night coming down to Talladega. Certainly enjoyed my visit on Tuesday to get ready for tonight. A great evening, despite they thought we might have been a little wet come 6 or 7 o'clock tonight, but we were able to at least have that rain come out of the area. And what has been a pretty good crowd so far this evening on both the home and the visiting sides, with Jacksonville Christian not on the other side of Calhoun County, and then throughout the rest of Talladega County. So they made about that hour or so bus trip from the heart of Calhoun County. A good showcase game tonight for both programs. As Jacksonville champions last year, and our schedule for next week, as we'll have the replay of tonight's ball game leading into our Bama Sheds countdown to kickoff next week for Central Carrollton and Oxford. And ASD able to move it down the field a little bit more. Number 22, Eli Brockman, the 8th grader, able to get a first down run presented by our friends from the Chamber of Commerce from Munford, Lincoln, and Talladega. And also, we can't forget as well, our thanks to F&M Bank, their longtime support of the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, as well as the Grub Mart and the Calhoun County Commission. And there you see our fine folks from the Calhoun County Commission as they show you the touchdown run for Chris Weaver, the senior, one of the primary leaders, according to Coach Cullick, as he gets his first touchdown of the night to get ASD over the 20-point mark. And even 1 minute to go as we'll take a look at Chris Weaver to pay dirt and the touchdown. makes it 54-22. 2-point conversion try on the way. Only one unsuccessful PAT for both teams tonight. As right up the middle, it is Brownlee as he is able to get in for the 2-point conversion. We'll step aside. 1 minute to go in the football game. It is JCA 54 and ASD 24.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store, from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
Sales team,
from the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
The Calhoun County Commission, Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. Expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
One minute to go in the football game as we take a look at what Carter's Hardware kickoff. A tradition in the community of Munford since 1910. As the kickoff will bounce toward Anthony Gooch as he'll just take the knee. I imagine a couple of more snaps here before we get things done for this from Talladega. James Hardy along with Eddie Bullock, Shasta Jones, and our FNN crew. I imagine we'll be hearing from Victoria's head coach Tommy Miller following this evening's ball game, and maybe a couple of the players will come to our FNN cameras to provide on the season opener. I'll tell you what, programs that certainly mean a lot more than just football, as you mentioned with ASD, but also remember as far as hearing from Noah Lee as far as what Shasta provided us, but also Tommy Miller tonight and over at County High School Football Media Days, just as far as the football program, Coach Miller and Jacksonville Christian, just the faith aspect so big and central as far as the culture of Jacksonville Christian is concerned. As there's the knee for Dowdy as we wind our way to of this evening's season opener. But I tell you what, Eddie, whether at Oxford, at Talladega, Piedmont Center, wherever we go in our FNN coverage area, just great to get the high school football season back up and running, man. First snap, as that probably will be the final snap that we see tonight, as Jacksonville Christian got the first score at the game thanks to Anthony Gooch's 4-yard touchdown run late in the first quarter, as they were able to take control in the second quarter and coast to the finish line as they'll open up the season with a 54-24 victory on the road at ASD. We'll begin our post game right after this timeout as you're watching the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your today.
From Kiwanis Field on the campus of ASD in Talladega, there's your final score for our first game of the season, JCA 54 and ASD 24. James Hardy, Eddie Bullock, and we'll hear from Shasta Jones here in the Victoria's JCA Thunders players, and I imagine Coach Miller as well. But just good to get the season started again, and we saw at least our first 8-man football game here in the 15 seasons now that the FNN High School Football Game of the Week has been roaming around this part of Alabama. And Pretty impressive talent on the field for both teams, including Noah Lee tonight, the quarterback for Jacksonville Christian. So it looks as if that both the teams able to at least get their post-game pleasantries, as I see a couple of the Christian Thunder victorious players, including Noah Lee and Anthony Gooch, and as well as veteran head coach Tommy Miller, making their way to our FNN camera with our Shasta Jones. And I think we are just about ready. In fact, we are ready to send it down to Shasta.
Coach Miller, how does the win of the season for JCA feel?
Well, it feels real good. I mean, I was a little upset at the half, but we came back out in the second half. I think we played a little bit better in the second half than we did in the first half. And always getting the first win is good. We're rusty. We lost very good seniors last year, so we got to build back. And tonight I think we saw some things that maybe we can work on that will help us to get back to where we were.
And how did you feel about the younger players getting out there tonight and giving it their all?
That was really good to get to play everybody on played tonight. How many seventh graders did we have out there? No, was it 4 or 5? 4 or 5 seventh graders we had on the field there late, but and that's good for them to get in there and get to play. That's not going to happen every game, but that was good. It's going to get better and better. They're going to be they're playing some more people in our league, and that's going to be good for them. Coach Paul is a really good football coach and a good basketball coach, and he's a good man more than anything. I just appreciate him because we seem to always have a good game no matter what. We've beat we've beat them about as much as they've beat us. It's about even over the years. So we enjoy the relationship we have with them.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to your team. Thank you so much, and I'm going to meet with some of your players here. I'm going to jump in the Gooch, let's start with you. You had some incredible touchdowns and runs tonight. How did that feel for you?
I mean, it felt great, but we just got to keep our head. I mean, it's a great play, but we got to look forward to bigger things in the season. So.
Well, how has this transition been for you moving from Hoax Bluff to Jack's Christian?
It's been great. I hear the best, and it's just a great environment to get started in. So.
And how about gelling with the team and learning the plays?
It's very easy. You got a good quarterback like Noah. He's always teaching me if I need help. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Gooch. Noah, you had some incredible passes, plays, connected tonight. Just amazing. How did that feel for you for this first game of the season?
It felt good. I mean, it was a unacceptable first drive on my part. A little rusty there, but I'm proud of how the offense bounced back, and we did what we needed to. We ran the ball great, so we had some good stuff to look forward to.
What do you want now in your next game to improve on everything?
Just being settled in the pocket. You know, I got a little bit antsy from time to time, and I just think I just need to settle in, especially from under center. I just need to make sure and trust my blocking and look downfield and still move around my feet, and I think that's something I need to work on getting to our next game.
One final question. When we talked this last week, I asked you about a tradition that you do, especially after a winning game. Let's tell everybody out there what you like to do when you win.
We're gonna get back and we're gonna go to cookout. That's gonna be the next stop. That's gonna be good. Get some good food at cookout, maybe with a few teammates. I'll be happy.
What's your favorite things?
Give me a cheeseburger, chicken sandwich, some fries, cheese bites, quesadilla, something, sweet tea. That's it.
All right, well, thanks so much, Noah. Good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
We're going to.
Well done, Shasta. Tell you what, Eddie, that's a winning game plan post-game for Noah Lee going back to Jacksonville tonight.
Absolutely. I want to know how he going to eat all that.
That's a good question. In fact, we'll go ahead and send it to the break on that, and then we'll wrap it up after this timeout.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
We had no idea of the opportunities that were available to him, and we're so thankful for the direction AIDB has given us.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Time for us to get to the finish line here tonight for our first telecast of the season, as once again JCA takes down ASD for the season opening road victory. The Thunder over the Silent Warriors 54-24. James Hardy, along with the rest of our FNN crew, as we wrap things up here at Kiwanis Field in Talladega. Once again, a job well done by all of our crew to open up the season. Shasta Jones on the sidelines, Eddie Bullock alongside me, and there you see the rest of our FNN crew 2025 season. So we hope you have a great weekend and a happy rest of your Friday as you have been watching the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.